is obviously a key player for us. As we've got this on Boniface, as Boniface, the Super Eagles Werder Bremen striker Victor Boniface has publicly credited the award-winning Nigerian singer Tenny the Entertainer for standing by him through the most difficult period of his football career, following months of injury and surgery that threatened to derail the season entirely. Boniface, a 25-year-old, underwent surgery on the 10th of January after suffering a severe cartilage damage during the Bundesliga match in December 2025. The procedure carried out by renewed surgeon Dr. Christian Fink in Innsbruck, Austria, followed months of persistent knee pain and eventually forced him out to cut short a difficult low spell at Werder Bremen. He had previously admitted to putting on a fake smile while playing through the injury. In a post on his official X handle, the striker singled out Tenny, whose real name is Inioluwa Adekoya, for the warm cheese show during his recovery. He said, and I quote, he wrote, and I quote, after my surgery, I know how many times Tenny the Entertainer called to check on me. Respect. Yes, moving away from that, well, we've got this amazing news as the Dallas Mavericks have appointed Masai Ujiri as president and alternate governor, and in one of the basketball most respected executive, the task of rebuilding the franchise into the championship contenders. Ujiri will oversee all aspects of the basketball operation, including roster construction, players personnel, and scouting, while working with team leadership to define the organization long-term direction. Yes, moving away from basketball and moving back to football. Well, we've got this one. We've got this big one on yes, moving on, we've got this big one coming from the Super Falcons head coach, of course, as Justin Madugu has revealed that Nigeria are struggling to arrange friendly matches ahead of the 2026 Women African Cup of Nations, with several African nations refusing to face the reigning continental champions. Madugu told newsmen, he said, I quote, the Nigerian Football Federation has reached out to more than 5 countries in the search for warm-up fixtures, but have so far been unable to finalize any agreement. He further said, and I go, the fact is that most teams are not ready to play us. I know a lot of efforts have been made to reach out to different countries. The coach added that the reluctance was coming specifically from the opposing coach staff rather than the federation themselves. He further stated, and I quote, the federation may agree at first, but when the coaches are consulted, they refuse because they don't want to face the Super Eagles. Nigeria are preparing to defend the title they won in Morocco last year when they claimed the records to 10th WAFCON crown. The Super Falcons remain the most successful women national team in African football, and Madugu's comments suggest that the reputation is now working against them in the build-up of the tournament, which runs from the 25th of July to the 16th of August in Morocco. Yes, moving away from the Super Falcons. As we've got this fresh one on Victor Osimhen and a host of others. As the Super Eagles striker Victor Osimhen and Paulo Nuachu are both in line to make the Turkish Super League history today, with Osimhen chasing a 4th consecutive league title with Galatasaray, and Nuachu seeking to improve his chance of winning the division golden boot. Galatasaray also at Liaspor at the Rams Park, knowing that victory will seal the 26th league title and a 4th championship in a row. The Lions had the chance to wrap things up last weekend before they suffered a shocking 4-1 defeat to Samsunspor, allowing Fenerbahce to close the gap to the 4 points with 2 games remaining. Osimhen, who set up Galatasaray's 1 goal in their defeat before the games unraveled following their goalkeeper red card, refused to panic afterwards. He said, and I quote, we knew it would not be easy. We did not play well either. We will win our own game and declare our championship. We also apologize to fans. They did not leave us alone. They were by our side. We will look ahead. Galatasaray have also dominated these fixtures, going unbeaten in the last 19 meetings with Antalyaspor and winning the last 7, including a 4-1 victory in the reverse fixture earlier this season. Antalyaspor, meanwhile, sit just 1 point above relegation zone and have won only once in their last 10 league matches. Osimhen pursuit of the title medal comes amid growing transfer noise. Galatasaray this week dismissed a reported 75 million euros offer from Paris Saint-Germain as laughable, while the club's management said they have not yet considered the proposal. The Turkish club have placed 150 million euro valuation on the Nigerian, who remains under contract until 2029. Osimhen has 13 goals and 5 assists in 21 league appearances this season, with 7 more goals in 10 Champions League outings. Across Istanbul, Onuachu's golden boot ambition will be put to a test when Trabzonspor travel to Besiktas. The Nigerian striker lead the scoring chart with 22 goals, but has failed to score in the last 3 matches, allowing Uzbekistan forward Eldar Shmorodov too close to within 2 goals on Brazilian Anderson Talisca Fenerbahce, and he's also in contention with 19 goals after a weekend hat-trick. Yes, moving away from that. Well, we've got this as Real Madrid find Federico Valverde and Aurelian Tchouameni, as Real Madrid have confirmed that it has concluded the internal disciplinary proceedings against Federico Valverde and Aurelian Tchouameni, imposing a fine of 500,000 euros on each player following a recent incident involving the squad. In an official statement obtained by newsmen, the club said both players are before the disciplinary investigator and accepted responsibility for their action. The statement for the reason I go to Real Madrid announces that following the events that led to the opening yesterday of a disciplinary foul against our player Federico Valverde and Aurelian Tchouameni, both have today appeared before the investigators handling the case. Real Madrid added that both players expressed remorse during the proceedings, and the statement for the reason I quote, Darren said with parents, the players showed their total regret of what happened and have apologized to each other. According to the club, Valverde and Tchouameni also apologized to teammates, to coaching staff, the supporters, and accepted any disciplinary decision the club deemed appropriate. Following the conclusion of the internal process, the club confirmed the sanctions. Real Madrid has decided to impose a financial penalty of 500,000 euros on each player, thereby concluding the internal disciplinary proceedings. The disciplinary case brings closure to the internal issues that has drawn attention within the squad, with the club emphasizing accountability and internal discipline. The development comes as Real Madrid continue to manage squad matters ahead of key fixtures, including the upcoming El Clasico. Yes, moving back to the EPL, of course, where Mikel Arteta said that Arsenal must refocus on Sunday's huge Premier League clash against West Ham after the emotional eye of reaching the Champions League finals. The Gunners will be crowned English champions for the first time in 22 years, and if they can win their final 3 league games, a trip to relegation threatened West Ham appears to be their toughest stacks remaining. Arteta's men then also relegated Burnley before facing Crystal Palace just days before the Eagles play in the Conference League final. Arsenal reached the Champions League final for just the second time in their history with a victory over Atletico Madrid on Tuesday, but Arteta stressed that there was little time to look ahead to facing Paris Saint-Germain in Budapest. He said, and I go, stay present, live in the moment, prepare and show the same level of energy hunger and desire we have shown all season or more. He said that we are closer and closer to everything we do. So everything we do is going to matter. The Gunners are 5-point clear of Manchester City at the top of the table and have played one game more than Pep Guardiola's men. The result at the London Stadium could have a huge ramification for Arsenal North London rivals Tottenham Hotspur. Aston Spurs are just 1 point above 18th place West Ham in the battle to avoid the drop. Teta for the Southern Gota, understanding the conditions of the game of both clubs. It is huge, obviously. We know the importance of it. We know we know what we want and what we have to do to win this game. The Spaniard said Mikel Merino and Julian Timber remain out and are facing a race against time to feature in the Champions League final on the 30th of May. Yes, still talking football, of course, as English football is heading into a potentially historical May, with clubs from Premier League reaching the finals of all three UEFA major competitions for the first time. Arsenal confirmed the breakthrough moment on Tuesday as they sealed a 2-1 aggregate win over Atletico Madrid to book their place in the UEFA Champions League final. By Thursday night, the picture was complete. Aston Villa overturned the first leg deficit to beat Nottingham Forest 4-1 on aggregate, sending Unai Emery's men's side into the UEFA Europa League final, where they face SC Freiburg in Istanbul on the 20th of May. At the same time, Crystal Palace completed a 5-2 aggregate victory, progressing to the UEFA Europa Conference League final. They meet Rayo Vallecano on the 27th of May. The UEFA Conference League is a competition for European clubs ranked below the Champions League and the Europa League, and it was first held in 2021. Yes, moving away from that. Yes, moving away from that, where I've got the freshest update, of course, and a very surprising update, because it has been said that musician and celebrity boxer Portable will headline the final match day of the Nigerian National League Super 4 playoffs in Ikene, where the champions of the 2025-26 season will be crowned on Friday. Portable, who recently lost a celebrity boxing bout to streamer Kata Efe, leads a lineup of performers that also includes comedian and content creator MC Remoda, alongside TikTok personalities Tunde Perry, Sean Pizzo, Mama Desi, and G-Dax. Ahead of the finals, organizers announced the two lucky fans will win 500,000 each in the live raffle draw to be conducted by Portable. In addition, the first 200 fans through the gates will receive 5,000 naira each. Let's moving away from Portable and moving away from that, as we've got this on Victor Osimhen. as Victor Osimhen and his former Napoli teammate Vika Varashikelia are the joint top of the leaderboard for the most Man of the Match awards won in the season's UEFA Champions League with 4 each. Despite Galatasaray's elimination by Liverpool FC in the round of 16, Osimhen remains among the competition's standout performers as Paris Saint-Germain and Arsenal prepare to face off in the final on the 30th of May in Brentford. Osimhen won his first Man of the Match award during Galatasaray's 1-0 victory over Liverpool on the 30th of September 2025, when his penalty proved decisive at Rams Park. He claimed his second award in a 3-1 win over Bodo Glimt on the 22nd of October 2025, for the boosting Galatasaray's qualification hope before earning his third accolade after scoring a hat-trick against AFC Ajax on November 5, 2025. His fourth came in a 3-2 defeat against Juventus FC in the second leg of the playoff tie, where his goal helped see Galatasaray's progression into the round of 16. Shikalia, meanwhile, has been influential to PSG in recent weeks, and in his latest award in their 2-0 win over Liverpool in the quarterfinals. The Georgian winger also claimed 2 awards in PSG double-header against Chelsea FC in March, while his first came during the 4-0 victory over Atlanta BC on the 17th of September 2025. Yes, quickly moving away from that and moving on to fixtures that will be played over the weekend, beginning from fixtures that were supposed to be played today as Liverpool versus Chelsea. Talking English Premier League, of course, as Liverpool versus Chelsea is supposed to kick off by 5:30 a.m. Brighton and Overbourne will kick off by 8 a.m. Fulham versus AFC Bournemouth by 8 a.m. Sunderland versus Manchester United by 8 a.m. Manchester City versus Brentford by 10:30 a.m. I am sure those matches have been played. Yes, still talking fixtures that will be played today. Talking Spanish La Liga, of course. HL versus Alves will kick off by 6 a.m. Sevilla versus Espanyol is supposed to kick off by 8:15 a.m. Atletico Madrid versus Celta Vigo is supposed to kick off by 10:30 a.m. Real Sociedad versus Real Betis is supposed to kick off by 1 p.m. Yes, still talking matches that will be played over the weekend. Talking Italian Serie A, well, Cagliari versus Udinese will kick off by 7 a.m. Lazio versus Internazionale is supposed to kick off by 10 a.m. Lecce versus Juventus is supposed to kick off by 12:45 p.m. Still talking matches that will be played today, that are supposed to be played today. Talking English Champions League, where Middlesbrough versus Southampton United is supposed to kick off by 5:30 a.m. Yes, moving on to matches that are supposed to be played tomorrow. That is Sunday. Talking English Premier League, where Burnley versus Aston Villa will kick off by 7 a.m. tomorrow. Crystal Palace versus Everton by 7 a.m. tomorrow. Nottingham Forest versus Newcastle United by 7 a.m. tomorrow. West Ham United versus Arsenal by 9:30 a.m. tomorrow. Mallorca versus Villarreal by 6 a.m. tomorrow. Athletic Club versus Valencia by 8:15 a.m. tomorrow. Real Oviedo versus Getafe by 10:30 a.m. tomorrow. Barcelona versus Real Madrid by 1 p.m. tomorrow. Yeah, still talking matches that will be played tomorrow. They're talking Italian Serie A, where Hellas Verona versus Como will kick off by 4:30 a.m. tomorrow. Cremonese versus Pisa will kick off by 7 a.m. tomorrow. Fiorentina versus Genoa will kick off by 7 a.m. tomorrow. Parma versus ASC Roma will kick off by 10 a.m. tomorrow. AC Milan versus Atlanta will kick off by 12:45 tomorrow. Yes, and with that, we've come to a wrap on today's edition of Sports Diaries. Many thanks to those who made today's program possible. Many thanks to those who are here with me in the studios this morning. Many thanks to you listeners who consistently tune in to listen to Sports Diaries on iPower 102.7 FM. Until next time, I remain your favorite sports diva. Keep loving the game and stay sporting. Have a wonderful weekend and bye-bye.